Graham, there's an enormous focus obviously on the S5, but really this S3, stunning machine. It's fascinating looking upgrade.
Yeah, so the S3 has been and remains our biggest selling bike, and our bike that we really see as the everyman race bike. In Toronto we have a Tuesday night criterium, and Phil and I have long held that this bike is the ideal bike for that kind of general all-around race bike, where the guy also has to train on it, or the girl also has to train on it at the same time. So one of the key things we wanted to focus on with this bike was not alienating that customer base that's already totally in love with the S3. So you can see the aesthetic has remained relatively similar to the previous generation, and that's a very intentional choice. One of the key differences with this bike, though, is that it completely internally routes all cables using a groove under the stem and entering through the top, and then dropping down through what we kind of call an exterior steer tube. So we can provide an exploded view of that because it's quite a complicated system from the outside. But what it does is it really enables a simple cable routing path and allows you to adjust the stack on the bike without having to recable the whole works. So moving from the front to the back, some of the key differences are that we've added our characteristic drop-down tube and what we call the chin on the frame. So that was in the previous generation reserved for the S5 because it does create some challenges in manufacturing. Moving down the down tube, very similar down tube profile to the previous generation. Again, bottom bracket profile quite similar. We're trying to make sure we maintain that aesthetic. We've really done a lot of work up in this junction area here, though, with the seat stays and the seat tube. And you can see once again we've removed that shielding stay feature because in this case we are not focusing on the rim brake model, we're focusing on the disc model. Now, unlike the S5, this bike does come in a rim brake version, and we've adopted the direct mount standard. The reason being is that in this location we don't want to have to create a brake bridge. So on the direct mount bike we have dropped the shielding seat stay feature, but they are mounted right here. We don't see that that's going to be a tremendous seller, but at this point we feel that we're not comfortable pushing the market to disc only in this price.
So there is some demand for rim?
Yeah, for sure. There's some markets that are a little bit more traditionalist and a little bit slower to adapt to change, so we did support that with the S3 rim.
Sure. Okay, so if we just move around and have a look around the back here. And what can you tell us that we've got?
So we've adopted the same disc brake mounting standard, also featuring the rat system.